If you have knots, you don't want to stamp over knots. You want to stamp over the white part of the wood, and you want to stamp your first and last name. If you're using the stamps in the wooden box, there is a notch on here. That notch needs to face you when you hit the letter, or it's going to be upside down or sideways. You can stamp anywhere you want. You don't want to stamp along the edge because they're going to round over the edge. So somewhere in the center. When you hit this, you want to hold the hammer at the end of the handle. You want to get one hit. You don't want to have a lot of little hits. One in, one out. The reason we do one at a time, if you take them all out, it takes the next person a long time to find their letter. So we want to keep these in alphabetical order. So you take one out, hand at the end of the handle, one good hit. Try when you do the hitting to hit that instead of that. If you're using the plastic box, there is not a notch on the letters in the plastic box. There is, though, a little 1/4 of an inch stamp. That's what needs to face you when you do this step. So make sure the 1/4 of an inch is facing you. So as long as your letters are straight up and down, you don't get minus points. So take one out at a time, and hopefully these will stay in alphabetical order. Have your hand at the end of the hammer. You don't need much muscle. All you need is the weight of the hammerhead to make it go in. As long as you have good aim, then your letters should turn out like this. When you're done, it's a little hard to see your name. So if you have a mechanical pencil or a sharp pencil, it's not sharp, sharpen it before you do this. You want to trace your letters and make them stand out a little better. So trace it and make sure you get it graded before you go on to the next step. When you do this step, you want to use files. These are the two types of files. This is the file we don't want to use. This is called a rasp. A rasp has a lot of bumps on it, and what that does is that takes an awful lot of wood off at a time. You don't want to take a lot off. When you file, the filing works a lot better if it's not all dusty. To clean that out, on one side there's metal parts. Scrape it, then you brush it. Try to make it, before you use it, clean it, and before you put it back, clean it, so it looks nice and clean. When you put this in the vise, you're going to put this in the vise so we can round these corners. The best way to do that is put it in the vise like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to round over this. To round over this, I'm just going to go like that and go all the way down. So I can do the top two sides. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make it so this gets rounded. How you can tell if it's rounded enough is this is rounded enough. If you put it on the table, it doesn't stand up. You want to get it so it's rounded so it doesn't stand up. So you're going to start by doing the filing. If you can kind of see, it's kind of bumpy, kind of looks like a rock. We want to make that smoother. Once you filed it round enough, then you want to put it in the vise like this and get sandpaper and then sand it like that. Sand it like that. You get it all the way around. So to test it, you just see if it stands up. If it stands up, then you know you need to round it more. So you want to round those two edges and those two edges.
It's taking video of people doing decorations.
Your cake, now you can move forwards and backwards. I'm French now.